to Ellesborough Guide Centre, owned by Girl Guide Buckinghamshire since 1984. It is situated in the heart of the Chilterns, a little more than a 1-hour drive from any part of the county, at the foot of Combe Hill, part of the Ridgeway. My name is Anthea, and I chair a small committee of volunteers who manage the site on behalf of members of the Bucks Girl Guiding. Just an introduction to the history of the site. The frontage of the building is unique to Buckinghamshire, with similar buildings around South Bucks. It has a Dutch influence designed by Edward Buckton Lamb. The house and grounds, almost 2 acres, formed part of the Chequers Estate and was built as a school for the children of the village in 1839. It was closed in July 1969. Bucks Girl Guiding leased it originally from the estate to use as a pack holiday house from 1971. After 10 years, it became time to renew the lease. The Chequers Trust suggested we purchase the whole site, so after much work by volunteers and the support of our members, to not only purchase but also to extend and update the building, it was reopened in 1984. Our deed documents registered at Girl Guiding headquarters are signed by Patience Baden-Powell, the granddaughter-in-law of our founder. We also had a letter from the then Prime Minister wishing us well for the future. So how do we look now? As you view the grounds, you will notice that the pictures show the site at all different times of the year. Over the last 50 years, the site has been very well used for meetings, trainings, residentials, both inside and on the 2 campsites, also all at different times of the year. Many of our members and those of other youth organisations, Scouts, Duke of Edinburgh award groups, cadet groups and schools use the facilities to offer young people what could be a first time away from home or an experience of the outdoors in a safe and not too remote beautiful area. Let's start inside the building. There are 2 dormitories. The larger one used to be a classroom with a coal fire in the corner. The smaller one, a head teacher's office. Each side of the small dormitory or head teacher's office there were 2 cloakrooms, one for boys and one for girls, now toilets and a washroom. The main activity room still has a blackboard of what was the second schoolroom, and many a message gets left by young and old using the building. This dining room area was extended in 1983 and the kitchen completely rebuilt in 2005, during which a 100-foot well was discovered. Sadly, it had to be covered over as it was under a new external wall. Otherwise, we could have made a feature of it and been quite trendy. The dining room is also used for meetings and trainings as it has a drop-down screen which can be linked to a laptop, so no blackboard in here. It is sometimes difficult to squeeze everyone in and to see the screen, but we have a cunning plan. There is a small room up the spiral staircase, usually home to young leaders on brownie residentials and sometimes an escape room for leaders at weekend residentials. Planning permission has been granted to upgrade the whole building as our 21st century guests have more exacting requirements than those of 40 years ago since the last major refurbishment. Part of this room will become a dedicated dining room with a small room at the rear for a leader administration or a small private bedroom area. The upstairs room will also be reconfigured to make it a room with a door. Now, time to go outside. The rear of our field backs onto the famous Ellesborough golf course, so we do find the occasional golf ball along the boundary. Any golfers, please note, we do not move balls when players are in view. The outside is maintained in the most ethical way possible. Some of our trees have suffered over the years, but all are now in good shape. The backdrop of Combe Hill can be safely accessed via a footpath at the rear of the site. During the year, often an owl or 2 is heard at dusk. We have Swan Haven, our wet weather shelter. The chalk soil does drain well, so the campers may get wet, but do not get washed away. There is a row of 4 outside toilets, all pull chain, a novelty for some of the campers. At the end there is a washroom and 2 showers replacing the original coal house for the fires once in the schoolrooms. This whole area will eventually be demolished and replaced with modern toilets and showers with a wet room for those with additional needs. The Victorian drainage replaced. We will also have a meeting room. Our screen and the viewing equipment will be relocated, giving everybody in a meeting or training quality vision of what is going on. The room will open out to the main site, looking across the campfire circle. Again, a lovely spot for a campfire, but far enough away from the neighbours for everyone to sing out. This is our camp store. It replaced an old wooden lean-to bicycle shed and one-time wet weather shelter for the campsite. It now houses various camp and outdoor play, archery and camp equipment, and also the fridge and the freezer for campers. If I just say hanging larders and milk bottles in a bucket of water in the shade, it will mystify some but not the mature campers. A fridge is a luxury at camp. The human sundial has proved interesting for our guests. A similar one is located at Hobbies, our region activity centre in Norfolk. It makes an outdoor talking and learning feature. It just needs enough sun or light to form a shadow. This one is now due for its annual weeding as the days lengthen. We have a corner of the site which is for quiet contemplation or quiet activities for individuals or groups, or however our visitors wish to make use of the space. The area became very overgrown and the fence rotted. The back boundary, in conjunction with the greenkeeper from the golf course, has been cleared. You will notice that there is now a new substantial fence and the garden area restored. You will also notice that it is a work in progress. The beautiful wooden screen, pictured but not yet back in situ, was donated by Lady Burnham, one of the pioneers of girl guiding Buckinghamshire, originally located at her campsite at Hall Barn in Beaconsfield. One of the first camps in Buckinghamshire at the start of the movement was held at Hall Barn. The tabletop is made to resemble a campcraft table or washing up stand. Benches have been donated in memory of guiders who have passed away to give members of today somewhere peaceful to pause in a busy guiding day. The garden area is there for the same reason. All our guiders and helpers are volunteers, and whilst it is great fun offering friendship, new experiences and skills, it must often be combined with work, families, young and old, and studying. So this quiet corner is special. All manner of tasks are undertaken each year to keep the 180-year-old building and grounds a great place to visit for all our members and other youth groups. Grass is mown, benches painted and the windows cleaned, oven cleaning, person called in, drains unblocked. After the long lockdown, the committee are excited to be opening the campsite again and look forward to seeing the campsite used, and that it will not be too long before we host trainings and meetings and eventually some residentials in the house. I hope you have enjoyed this brief tour around Ellesborough if you've not seen it before, or that it brought back some memories for those of you who have visited. It is a building that needs the voices of young people and laughter.